Hi, everyone. It's Nasia with Les Maisons Partners, and I am extremely excited today because today we have a very, very special guest. So, you all have been asking us over and over and over again, uh, what am I going to do with my home? What am I going to do with my portfolio, my assets? Should something happen to me? Or how am I going to care for my aging parents? We've got this question so many times from so many of you. So we decided that we're not the experts on that side. So we're going to invite the expert in. So we're really, really excited that we have Mark Weber here from New York Life company. And Mark is going to give us some insight on how we can secure that wealth that we've been building. And we're really excited because it's been a long time coming, Mark. Obviously, I've known Mark for many, many years. And if I'm going to go to anybody for advice regarding any kind of life insurance, protection of that kind, I'm going to Mark. So, Mark, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Nasia. It is an absolute honor and pleasure to be here with you. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about a topic that's incredibly important to me, and that's life insurance. So my focus today will be on understanding the basics of life insurance and how it fits into a strong financial strategy. Right, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so once again, my name is Mark Weber. I am an agent and registered representative with New York Life Insurance Company. And there's only so much that we can really cover in this short time. But my goal is that by the end of this conversation, you'll see how life insurance isn't just about protection. It's also about building a foundation for your financial future. And if you have any questions at all afterwards, please don't hesitate to reach out to me by phone or email. I will bring this slide up again at the end, just in case you're not able to capture it right now. All right, so once again, let's go ahead and jump in. I like to think of personal finances as like building a house. You need a solid foundation before you start adding the walls and the roof. That foundation represents protection, making sure that no matter what happens, the rest of your financial structure is supported. Without a strong foundation, it doesn't matter how nice the rest of the house looks. If something shakes that structure, the whole thing could collapse. Life insurance, along with other types of protection, helps make sure your financial house stays standing through life storms. A strong foundation includes several layers of protection. What we mean by protection here is protecting everything that matters most to us. And what is most important to us? Well, for most people, that is our family, our health, and our ability to earn an income to provide for ourselves and our family. But how do we protect these things? Well, we do it through health insurance, disability insurance, home and auto insurance coverage, and of course, life insurance. Each of these plays a unique role, but life insurance is the one that ensures your loved ones, your goals, and your financial commitments are protected, even if you're not here to provide for them. Think of it as the ultimate safety net for your long-term plans. So let's go ahead and learn more about the basics of life insurance. You probably already insure a lot of this stuff in your life, your home, your car, your health, even your cell phone. But in most cases, we aren't required to insure ourselves. But if you think about it, our lives are really our most important asset. But why is our life our most important asset? It's because most likely someone or something depends on you and on your income to provide a life for yourself and your family. You, your life, absolutely is the most valuable asset. Think of it in this way. If you had a machine in your house that was producing $50, $100, or $150,000 each year for the next 15, 20, or 30 years, how much would you insure that machine for? Well, for most people, the answer is you would insure it for what it's worth, meaning what it produces. And this should not shock you, but you are that machine. Now, you may make more or less over the years, requiring more or less life insurance protection, but proper protection is based on your total worth. Simply put, life insurance ensures that the people and goals you care about most aren't left financially vulnerable. And it does this because the death benefit from a life insurance policy can help your family or your beneficiaries cover living expenses, mortgage payments, funeral costs, and even debts. It also helps avoid issues like probate, creditors, and income taxes that can reduce what your loved ones receive. And you even have choices and options when it comes to protecting you. But first, let's look at some of the main myths around life insurance that I hear all the time. I only need it when I'm young or have young children. Wrong. Our debt, financial obligations, and building of retirement assets do not go away as we age or when our kids leave the house. We do still have our own lives to live when our kids no longer rely on us financially. Or employer coverage is enough. Is it? If your family receives 1 to 2 times your salary, is that enough for them to cover the rent or mortgage, pay off debts, contribute to retirement assets, possibly help contribute to school costs, and to live off of? Employee coverage is a good start, but it rarely covers everything your loved ones may need. Or it's only useful if I die. Well, actually, with certain permanent life insurance policies, you can build cash value that grows over time and can be accessed later for things like retirement income and even accessed tax advantaged. And beyond the numbers, there's peace of mind knowing that your family would be financially secure if something happened to you. Here's another one. If my partner doesn't work, they don't need it. Now, stop and really think about this one. Actually think about all of the significant contributions non-working partners make to your life and to the household. Now think about what your life would be like if that person was no longer there. There will be real financial costs. But once again, more importantly, there's emotional peace of mind in knowing that those contributions are valued and protected. Truth is, life insurance can be a key part of your financial plan at any stage of life. It's not just about a death benefit. It's about having options, flexibility, and peace of mind for the future. And believe it or not, there are really only 2 basic types of life insurance. Temporary is often referred to as term. And like renting an apartment, term life insurance is designed to meet temporary needs and doesn't provide long-term advantages like equity. Term insurance provides protection for a limited time and pays a benefit only if you die during that time. As a result, it is often the most affordable type of coverage when initially purchased. Sorry about that. Permanent life insurance, by contrast, is more like owning a home. It can provide lifelong protection and generally builds cash value. It's a resource that you can use to pay for a child's college, wedding, your retirement, or even to help care for an aging relative. Each one serves a different purpose, and which one is right for you depends on your goals and where you are in life. Let's start with term. So once again, think of term life insurance as renting protection. You have it for a set period of time, 10, 15, or 20 years. It's simple, affordable, and ideal for covering specific needs during critical times, like paying off a mortgage, raising kids, or even covering income replacement. If your needs change over time, you can often convert a term policy to a permanent one without a new medical exam. That means you can keep your coverage long-term as your financial goals evolve. Term life is all about flexibility and affordability during the stages of life when your protection needs are highest. Now think of whole life insurance as owning your coverage. It's just like owning a home instead of renting it. It's designed to last a lifetime and the premiums never go up. Whole life offers guaranteed protection, guaranteed cash value growth, and potential dividends. Those dividends, while not guaranteed, have been paid by New York Life every year since 1854. And here's what's really powerful. That cash value grows tax deferred and can be accessed later in life for things like college funding, retirement income, or even emergencies. It's like having a savings component built into your insurance. Universal life takes things a step further. It's for people who want more flexibility. Flexibility in how they pay premiums and how much coverage they have. So with universal life, you can adjust your coverage or premiums as life changes. Maybe you want to scale down later in life or increase protection during major milestones. It offers long-term protection that can be very efficient if structured correctly. Think of universal life as a hybrid between term and whole life. Flexibility like renting, but longevity like owning. Finally, variable universal life, or VUL, adds an investment element. It's designed for people who want the lifelong protection of permanent insurance plus the potential to grow assets in the market. It offers flexible premiums and tax advantages, but it also carries investment risk. The policy's value can fluctuate with the market. So for some, it's an effective way to combine protection with long-term financial growth potential. So people often ask, which one should I choose, term or permanent? And the answer is, it depends. It depends on your goals. The right mix of coverage gives you both protection and opportunity. As your life changes, whether you're buying a home, starting a family, or building a business, your insurance strategy can evolve too. Many people actually choose to layer the coverage. For example, having a term policy to cover temporary needs and a whole life policy that builds value over time. This can be more cost-effective and provide greater flexibility. So as we see, each product has unique characteristics, and one is not necessarily better than the other. It all depends on the life insurance need and what fits within your unique financial strategy. Many of my clients rent to own, meaning they purchase term first with the plan to convert a portion of that term in the near future. I explain to my clients that this can help with budgeting so you get the protection you need customized to fit your budget. Ultimately, it all depends on what's best for you and your family. When choosing life insurance, it's not just about the product, it's also about the company behind it. New York Life has been around for 180 years and has a track record of financial strength and paying dividends consistently. Our focus is simple: to be there when our clients need us most. And that reliability is really what allows us to stand behind our guarantees and help our policy owners feel secure about the future. Now, my role as a financial professional is to help you design a personalized strategy, one that fits your goals, budget, and stage of life. So whether you're a single person, a homeowner, a parent, or just starting out, it's important to build a protection plan that evolves as you do. Really, because life insurance isn't a one-time decision, it's part of an ongoing financial journey. All right, so thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope this helped you see that life insurance is not just a single product, but really it's a key piece of your financial foundation. If you'd like to talk about your own strategy, I'd love to connect. You can reach out directly to me and I'll bring it back to where we started. And so with that, let me turn it back over to you, Nasia.
So thank you. That was what we needed, because that was the broad strokes. And some of the information I didn't even know about it. I thought I was pretty knowledgeable and fluent in a lot of life insurance and homeowners, working so closely with the different industries such as life insurance, homeowners insurance, all those things going hand in hand. So thank you, Mark. You really kind of clarified a lot of things for us. I think a lot of the times we have people who are saying to themselves, first of all, they're very apprehensive about discussing the topic as a whole. Right. So, and I'm sure you get that all the time. We get that a lot, but we know how important this is when you're planning for the future. When you buy such a huge asset, such as a home, and you do not make any plans for the future of how to support the maintenance of not only that home, but your entire portfolio. You've worked really, really hard all your life. You want to make sure that you're covered should anything happen to you or should you need something in the future. And one thing I really want people to know about Mark is this is a very, very, very serious topic. And Mark is the best. We always go to him for whatever our needs are. And obviously, when our clients ask us who we recommend, Mark is number one on our list. So, Mark, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit also about, you are in various states as well. Insurance, as insurance professionals, you'd go through a lot of training and you go through a lot in order to maintain your licensure. If you could talk about that, because we have folks from not only Georgia, but we have folks from all around the country. And we obviously have partners that we work with in real estate around the country as well. So if you could talk a little bit about where you can service and who you can cover, that would be great.
Yeah, no, thanks, Nasia. No, absolutely. So right now I'm able to cover just about the entire East Coast, minus just a few states like Maine, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. But other than that, I do have a license, from Vermont, Massachusetts, all the way down to Florida. But if there's another state that comes up, I am able to take the steps and get the license for that location as well. And, I just, as far as some of the things that you mentioned, I would, like to throw out a few additional comments, right? So as you point out, right, so life insurance, just insurance in general, right, is that risk management. And it's very important that as we're going through that we ask ourselves, right, what will happen if? And with life insurance, it's a matter of like, what will happen if I'm not here tomorrow? And what will the impact be for my loved ones, my family? And if you're not asking yourself that and you don't have a plan, that's where, right, the financial professional comes in, right? It's a topic that is very difficult for some people, while others, you're able to make light of it. You can talk about it, making jokes, still understanding the severity of it. But being able to sit down with a financial professional, they will help facilitate those conversations. And they're going to ask you, right, some very difficult questions, such as, what happens to your partner? What happens to your children if you're not here tomorrow? And that's the thing, is we just don't know. We can think we can plan out our lives and have everything worked out. But when life happens, it takes over, and what's the saying, right? The plan doesn't survive the first volley.
And I think it's important to also point out, for so many people, when they're thinking about investing in their future, in the future of their families and their loved ones, you are investing in a future, your future self as well, I like to say, because things change so much. People get married, they have children, some people are caring for aging parents. So many different dynamics come into play. And there are people who um, are looking towards having a vast portfolio. And as they build and build and build, we want to make sure that that foundation is there in
Exactly.
case something happens. And again, it is sometimes a difficult conversation, but I think when we have forums such as these where people can be informed and educated into what their different options are, and then they can come to you on a personal level and find out which option suits them best for what their needs and their goals are. Because when you're looking at things, I know when you talk to people, when you're looking at what kind of options they need to go with, and I'm not just saying this, you look at where they are now, where they want to be in the future, and you're tailoring your options to meet those goals. And that's what we're looking for, those tailored options. Because if somebody has that apprehension, the fact that they come to you and the fact that they've reached out and said, I want to have this conversation, that's just the first step. And that's wonderful. That's all you need, is that first step to try to find out more information. And right now, this is just the first step, what you've discussed, some of these broad strokes. And then when you meet with a person one-on-one, then you could find out more about their actual individual goals.
No, absolutely. That's the importance of having that balanced financial strategy, is that you don't know necessarily what's going to happen. Planning for the future is all about unknowns, right? And I say this all the time. It's most prevalent when we talk about retirement planning, where, right, we don't know what the tax structure is going to be. We don't know what our health is going to be. We don't know what health insurance is going to look like or cost. It's all about the unknowns. And so having a plan that can weather any sort of economic condition or any sort of adversity is vital. And right, that's what it's all about. And so it all starts with a conversation, right? It all starts with a lot of questions and getting to learn what matters, what's most important for the person. And as we talked about with that financial house, right, it's okay, well, let's see what we can put in place to make sure that what you identified as what's most important, that's protected. Right. And so we want to make sure our family, our health, our ability to earn money, all of that is protected. And then from there, we can kind of build out the rest of the plan.
Well, I could say this has been terrific, because this has helped people to really put into perspective how important this is. And coming from the real estate side, I can tell you that there are so many instances where people really would love to have had protections in place for their loved ones. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. And so there are some additional layers that their loved ones may have to go through after they are gone. And that's what these discussions and discussions with your attorneys that can help build out your wills and things such as that. These are all very important to talk about. And I know if you may have a little bit of leeriness or apprehension, you can always just make an appointment and talk to somebody one on one. But please reach out to a professional, because there are people who are out there who they may dabble in it, but you want to reach out to a licensed professional who is there to actually provide you with that guidance that is based on the portfolio that they have within their own company. So you want to make sure that you're talking to the right people about the right things. And so Mark is your go-to for life insurance. And we've always worked with partners that we know are going to do a great job for people. So I really appreciate you talking to us, Mark. And if anybody wants to have a one-on-one with Mark, please make sure that you reach out to him. He's available. He has his contact information on there. And if you have a question for us, I'm going to add on our little banner so that you can see. You can reach out to us on our website, or you can reach out to us via phone. So, and I did have a question.
All right.
Now, this question might be a little bit outside of the scope. There was a question about a will. So I know you don't deal with wills. So if you do have a particular question about wills and about that kind of planning, we do work with partners who are attorneys that can help with that. But as part of that, you can speak, Mark. I know that there are plenty of people who, once they have selected their life insurance option, that's part of their will. That's part of their planning process, that they incorporate that and fold that inside of all of the paperwork that they have with their attorney.
Right. Well, I definitely have a couple of things to say here, but you're right. So with the life insurance policy, you're going to have your beneficiaries included, right, in the contract and in the policy. You can have your primary and even contingency. So there's different layers that you can have, and of course, it can be structured in any manner that you want, as far as percentages among different people, or all to one person. It can even the death benefit can go to a trust in and of itself. But that is something that the way it works, if there is a claim, unfortunately someone does pass, the life insurance company cuts that check and it's delivered directly to those beneficiaries, and it's not going to be taxed, right? It is a tax-free payouts that these beneficiaries are receiving. So I would say that is the first thing. And the second, as far as estate planning, right, this is pretty vital, and this needs to be a part of our strategy. And we are able to help with the strategy, but absolutely right, we're not lawyers. It's the lawyers that do the official documentation, but it's a team effort, right? This is one where we work together. And so, you'll have your financial professionals that make sure that the planning ahead of time, the structure benefits either yourself or the beneficiaries, however you want to structure that. And of course, we work directly with lawyers, and I know you have some of the best partners around to help with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really important that there be communication about what kind of assets you do have. So obviously not in my lane, so I will stay in my lane. I know. I will stay in my lane. However, this is really, really important, what you bring up as well, because a lot of people don't know that with estate planning, one of the first things that people are looking for when a loved one unfortunately passes away is they may need some funding in order to plan, services and things like that. And life insurance comes into play really it's really a vital source for so many people.
Mhm.
And they don't realize how life insurance actually works and is in partnership with a lot of the people who are planning services, things like that. So it's really important to stay updated and to make sure that everybody's kind of talking to each other when you are going for your estate planning. You want to make sure you're mentioning all of these assets as part of that.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. Once again, when there's a claim, something does happen. All right. The money is going to be delivered directly to those beneficiaries, and it's very common to include final expenses when you're building the coverage that you need as an individual or as a family, and so you can also just have a policy for final expenses. That's also relatively common to where maybe you have just a small policy, and that's the sole purpose is, this is just going to make sure that, one of my last acts is to have that covered.
Right. And then there was a follow up question about if somebody has a trust account, will their family have to wait long? I'm not sure when you're talking about a small policy to benefit somebody. I know I don't want to get into the weeds of everything,
Right.
but sometimes when people leave money, say to a minor or to a family member who may not be of age and things like that, sometimes there are trust accounts involved. So I know that that obviously is part of estate planning, but that small policy that you were talking about as part of a larger effort. I know that you mentioned it as an option, and people are just always thinking about what is the best way, especially when you're when you're talking about minor children,
Right.
in order to make sure that you take care of them.
Yeah, and leaving a significant amount of money, or really leaving any amount of money directly to a minor, is usually not the best approach, and different states somewhat handle that differently as far as what's allowed, or you're just not going to be able to have a 3-year-old necessarily. Right, open up a bank account and then all of a sudden have this money. And that's where, once again, the estate planning comes into play. And it's oftentimes much better to have that trust set up in for the benefit of the minors, to where with the trust you're able to establish the rules as far as how money is distributed, and over time you can actually have the trust go away, and the minor who's no longer a minor can have direct access to the money. It's just it's a much better approach to have all of this thought out ahead of time, and not once again, if something happens, have the family members kind of have to fumble through it on their own.
So, and I know that there were specific questions, and it sounds as if it may be questions that are best answered by an attorney. But I also, if you need help, we definitely have attorney partners that you could talk to that could answer those questions in a more detailed manner than we're able to on this particular platform. And please feel free to reach out to us about that. And then also feel free to reach out to Mark directly if you have specific questions. Even if you already have an estate that has already been planned and you have everything in process, but you're looking to fold in life insurance into that plan, then Mark can, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you can work within, even if there is an established plan, you can work to develop an option that meets their needs, even if they do have a will in place. Because sometimes people find themselves as they are their life changes, they need more coverage.
Absolutely, and it's important to note that right, we we work very well with other experts and advisors for an individual, right? So it's not a matter of, we're going to come in and think that it's just us, everything needs to go through us. It is truly a team effort, and it's always about what's best for the client. And the client is going to have most likely a trusted team already, whether that's right lawyers, CPA, whatever that is. It's very important, and these industries know, right? We all have our roles, and it's important that we work together to make sure, once again, that the client, the individual, is getting exactly what they need. But also, I will say, as far as from our perspective, we do no cost assessments. So as you were saying, if they have things in place, more than happy just to kind of have that initial conversation. Let's see where you're at, what questions you have. Let's establish, what your priorities are, and we can give you a pretty solid assessment to let you know if you're on course with what you want, or where there may be some gaps.
So it sounds like I need to do that with you, Mark, because I feel after this presentation very filled with gaps.
Yeah, and it was pretty quick. It was kind of a broad stroke. It went through relatively quick because oftentimes, I believe that you can kind of throw the information out there, but people are always going to apply it through their own lens. And so direct questions kind of allows you to understand how people perceive the information, and through direct questioning, you can kind of clear some of that up.
Okay, so Les Maisons Partners, thank you all so much. All of you who have come and listened to what we had to say today. This is just the beginning, obviously. As mentioned before, reach out with your specific questions, your specific needs. We know we're not going to cover everything today. There are plenty of folks who were asking also about protection, life insurance for aging parents, in order to provide for them, what their options were if somebody was a little bit more experienced in life, what their options were at that point, and how they can cover. And also, obviously, there are people who are interested in long-term planning. Obviously, we're living longer, we're working longer, so we have more to protect.
Absolutely.
So this has been wonderful. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. If you need to find a trusted partner, such as an attorney, we have you covered. Don't worry about that part. Whether you're in Georgia or you're somewhere else, we've got you covered. So thank you again, Mark, for joining us. And if anybody has any more questions, reach out to us directly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me again, Nasia.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.
Bye.